Welcome to another episode of the STR Sisterhood. I'm your host, Stacy St. And you know what? As always, I am so glad to be spending some time with you today. Thank you for inviting me into your day. Now, before we jump into this episode, I am going to share a quote that I recently read that resonated with me. And it says, "To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift." What beautiful and powerful words coming to us from Allison Felix. Now, I have to warn you, you are going to want to get a notebook and a pen for this episode. I am sitting down with my friend and AI expert, Chandi, and we are talking about how she saved $22,000 by utilizing AI for her property setup. You are not going to want to miss this. So if you need to push pause and grab a pen and come back, do it. You will thank yourself later. And without further ado, let's dive into my conversation with Chandi. So today we are joined by Chandi, and we are talking all about how she saved over $20,000 utilizing AI when it comes to setting up her property. I am so excited to talk to you about this. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here, Stacy.
So let's just kick off and have you share with our audience a little bit about who you are and where your properties are located.
Sure. So hi, everyone. My name is Chandi Dhanji, and I'm CEO of Weissman.ai. It's a prop tech company, that's on a mission to empower busy professionals to invest in real estate with confidence. And the goal is to really take out all these biases, opinion, primary home mindset from the equation and help busy people make informed decision, backed by data, by trends, by meaningful insights. And this whole mission started with my own experience where I have been in the tech industry in Silicon Valley for over a decade. So I started my career over here as a product manager. Then I led, product, data as a service product, and later stepped into an executive role of leading engineering, product, quality at one of the software companies over here in the Bay. While I was slowly and steadily working on my career, my husband and I were also building this real estate portfolio. Means it was not very intentional. We thought we needed some plan B or C, beyond our jobs in tech, all our stocks in tech, to just diversify our portfolio. So we slowly, steadily started buying properties about 15, 16 years back. Market was great. Things were fairly low. And so I wouldn't give credit to we were smart. We were just lucky with the right timing to enter the market. But with time, we learned about this industry a bit more, and we stumbled on this vacation rental side. So we were in long-term rentals before, and then we said, oh, people are talking about this other space with high cash flow, appreciation, and all the goodness that vacation rental brings to you. So we started investing 2021, I believe, into short-term rentals, or 2022, actually. That was our first foray into short-term rentals. And insanely enough, in 3 years, we went from 0 to 6 large luxury vacation rentals, including a boutique hotel in Louisville, Kentucky /Indiana side. So we found our niche. We are very much into luxury vacation rentals for larger groups. So pretty much all our properties are 10 plus. Some go all the way to 28, 30 people occupancy. And so that's where we are in this journey.
Amazing. And you're still living in the Bay Area, correct?
Correct. We are still living over here.
And so what made you choose the Louisville, Kentucky area? Just talk to me a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah. And I did not fully answer your previous question. So we are spread across the country, actually. We have our short-term rentals in Louisville, Kentucky area, Indiana side, Ohio River. It's like kind of divides Kentucky and Indiana. So We are more on Indiana, but we are a mile and a half from Louisville downtown.
Mm-hmm.
We are in North Carolina. We are in Illinois. We are in, why am I missing some places?
Because you have so many, it's hard to keep them straight, right?
Well, we are
so you're in multiple locations.
In multiple. We do not tie ourselves to one location. And as I said, I'm a very data-driven person. So, hey, once you decide to invest remotely, it doesn't matter if it's North Carolina, Maine, or wherever it is. The drill is the same. So we are very heavily looking at where there are the right systems in place, where there are good opportunities, and wherever we come across a good opportunity, we jump on it. So we are not limiting ourselves. And speaking of Louisville, Kentucky side, same reason. The tourism was great. Numbers were making sense. All the market indicators were telling us that this could be a good opportunity. And so we jumped on it.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Now, I know we're going to talk obviously about how you utilized AI with your property setup to save $22,000. Like, I'm so excited to get to that. But I have to ask you, did you use AI to help you analyze a market or select your markets?
Oh my gosh, that's $1 million question, Stacy, that you're asking. And, yes, I heavily use AI for even assessing the markets. And I, of course, use some of the great tools out there like AirDNA. Well, I would take back great tool for AirDNA. AirDNA has a bunch of bugs. It's a good starting point, but I do see you cannot blindly rely on AirDNA. It is like some of our properties, the numbers are so off, I don't know where they're getting the data. But STR Insights is another great one, so we use a lot of these other tools as well to make the decision. But I'm actually building a tool myself in-house to help, because currently we are using like a Frankenstein makeshift kind of tooling where I use STR Insight, AirDNA, some Rabu, and some other random things. I use a lot of my own visual eyes. Very embarrassing to say as a techie person, but let's be honest. I sit and go through every single picture in the listing to see what are the key features that it has, what are some kind of legal issues we may run into, or safety standpoint, legality standpoint. So one of the properties we acquired, it has a spiral, cast iron, heavy spiral staircase, which could be a liability. So that has to be factored in. So I started with, eyeballing these things, but now with AI, there is an image processing that you can do. So I train AI models to say, hey, we throw a bunch of pictures, we kind of train the model, and then model learns with time and then starts, showing the red flags or green flags for a given property we may be interested in. So yes, I'm heavily using AI. I'm building a tool. Maybe one day I can make it more public, still in the infancy stages right now, but that's where I'm going.
Amazing. That is so fun. So fun. Okay, so let's talk about the setup of this property that you were able to save more than $20,000 from utilizing AI. This is kind of a silly question, but I'm going to ask you what inspired you to use AI for this specific use case? Or are you like, girl, I use AI to buy my groceries. I use AI for everything. Talk to me about how you even got the idea to utilize AI for this.
Thank you for that question, because I've been beating myself up and saying, how could I be that stupid that I didn't do it before? I would have saved in the past had I done this. So how it started, as you know, having a tech background, and I also have a very strong value shopper mindset. Like, I think credit goes to my mom. We come from a modest means. My mom always taught us, like, you just can't pick something you like. You have to see, is it worth it? What the other grocery store is selling this for? So we did this in our everyday life, but I think being a busy professional again, when we got into this STR world, we were always like in a rush. Like there's, I don't know how you feel, but we felt, especially in 2021, 2022, let's jump in, let's buy something, let's quickly furnish it, let's quickly get to,
I bought 8 in 1 year and renovated them. Yeah, girl. Yeah.
So you are way crazier than.
I take that with the badge of honor.
Yeah. Good thing. Go girl. Kudos to you. But so I thought for the first set of properties that we invested in, I was not using those fundamentals that were taught to me, or maybe I just didn't think of, many times some commonsensical things or certain things you develop in one environment of your life, you don't import it to the, like you don't bring your personal learnings into your professional to personal, which we should, but many times we just forget with all the things happening in our lives. So that's where we were initially. But then at the end of the day, our fundamental about ROI was there. And when we would assess a property and we will factor in the designer fee, designer cost, furnishing cost, staging cost, the ROI was not making sense. I think we still kept going with the first few set of properties because we were high earner W-2s. So the tax saving was attractive enough to say, oh, it's worth it. But by the time we got to our third property, I am like, I think this is just not making sense. Why are we spending this much on furnishing? And now our recent acquisition, it's about 7,500 square feet. So, and I had a very tight budget on that one. And when I started high level thinking about how I want to strategize this, very back of the envelope, our design expense, given our past experience, was insanely high. And I am like, I don't know if this would make sense. So that's where that whole motivation started. And again, and I'm guessing most of the people fall in this bucket, you are either in a highly competitive STR market where just putting a bedding, linen, towels is not good enough. You need to beautify it. It needs to be a pleasure to the guest eyes to get bookings, right? So we are either in a highly competitive STR market. In our case, we are more in the luxury space. So again, if I want to create a luxurious place, I can't just have Amazon bedsheet, $20 bedsheet lying on it, cheap paper towel and things like that. So with that high-end amenities and staging, but not putting much money out of pocket, felt like two contradictory goals. How are you going to have your cake and eat it as well? And so that was the motivation for us. And by the way, for people listening on the call, if you're curious, like when I keep saying high-end properties, our website is charmingvacationhomes.com. So charmingvacationhomes.com, you can go there and you see the kind of properties I'm talking about to get a sense of what it is. So that's where it went. So I stepped back and I said, and I brought a bit more of my product management mindset. When we are building product in technology industry, we start by what is our guiding principles. That's going to help us or guide us to design a product. So I said, well, property is very much like a product. What are my guiding principles? And it came down to 5 things. It needs to be aesthetically appealing. Look and feel goes without saying, has to be one of the number one things. Number 2, which was very important for me because I'm not a sprint mindset, but more of a marathon mindset, is functionality. This is one thing that drives me nuts, is I have had that experience where we had designers who did fantastic job aesthetically with the property, but some of the things that we bought as a recommendation were functionally didn't make sense. One of the things I always shy away from, for example, is these LED stools that you can buy and they look really nice in pictures, but it's a pain in the ass for our cleaners to charge them every time before the guest comes, or their charging cables are very specialized too. If that's lost, there's an extra effort to go and reach out to the vendor, get those charging cables and whatnot. So long and short, functionally, I wanted something that's very lightweight. Next, of course, is cost. This is where the whole thing started. I do not want to bloat my cost budget and then end up having a low ROI. Next one was design efficiencies. We want to move fast, have a quick early design, mood boards, like it, then you continue moving forward. Like it's a lean mindset. I want to have that design efficiencies. Which eventually is not limited to just design. It's also for my setup team, for any renovation I want to do. This whole thing has to flow very well, efficiently from end to end and not siloed just to say, check, I did a good job with my design. And now how to communicate it to my contractor or my staging team. And all of this has to cohesively flow together as one single entity. So those were the 5, guiding principles we did. And with that, then what it came down to, I was like, okay, now how do I really like, how do I aid myself or equip myself to be efficient with each of these guiding principles? And that's where I sat down and I said, okay, if I want to be aesthetically good, what can I do? Either I hire a designer or I do it in-house. If I'm doing it in-house, well, I'm trading my own time for something. I enjoy designing, but I'm not an expert at it. Hey, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, is it worth it? Like, is it worth for me to save some bucks here at the cost of something else? So that's where I really turned to AI. I started doing some research on AI and seeing what it is. And then I literally found for every single one of these guiding principles, there are good AI tools, not perfect, but good enough to help me move fast, move with these goals in mind, and not to kill myself in terms of the budget. So I'm happy to, like, if you want, I don't know if you want me to go that geeky, I'm happy to talk about in each of these.
Let's go geeky. Let's do it. I want
Okay.
to go geeky.
Okay, let's do it then. So, for each of these guiding principles, and I would suggest people to take notes and try it out. So let's talk about aesthetic and design efficiency first. Again, using lean methodology, one of the tools that I really find helpful is SketchUp. Old tool, it's getting more and more powered by AI, but SketchUp has been around for a long time. I love that this AI tool has pre-built assets that you can leverage. It's easy to swap colors, furniture style, brand products, and it helps you make mood boards very quickly. And then eventually you can create photorealistic, design proposals, which was important if you're not ready with your property launch yet, but you want to start getting bookings. This could be a great tool. If you know what you're doing and this is going to be close to what you're going to be executing on, create the realistic design proposals, get them out so you can start getting bookings. So for our property, this was like 3 days after we acquired the property, we got our first booking. The house we haven't even started designing or broken the ground on it, but we got our first $4,500 the very first we launched. We did, of course, put a bunch of disclaimers and whatnot, but nevertheless, that was a success, I would say. And then another thing that I want to call out, which not many people know, is your phone is very powerful. Forget about AI. Your phone has a LiDAR technology, especially all your iPhones have it. So when we acquired or even before we acquired the property, I went to the property as a walkthrough. And with my phone, and this was right before, Stacy, actually your conference, I flew to Myrtle Beach to Shelly's place.
Yeah.
And before I stopped at the property. We had not closed on the property yet. I quickly turned on my phone using this, and this is an app I downloaded, Polycam. Polycam is an app you can download on your phone. It's a monthly or annual subscription. But when you turn it on, it creates a 3D model and 2D floor plan of your property along with measurements. So I think I paid $150, $180 for the whole year. But if I had to bring somebody in and do a floor plan, it's in thousands of dollars.
Right.
The other benefit was because I did it myself, it gave me better sense of the property and spacing as well. So highly recommend if you need a floor plan, you don't need to look for a photographer who's specially going to come and create that and charge you. You do need photographer for good photography, but this should not be the primary or only reason for you because your phones are powerful and can aid you with these things. So SketchUp, Polycam, and then the other one, when we go a little bit higher level, I use Enscape. Enscape is another great tool to finalize your models, do your final lifestyle kind of renderings. And then once you have the Enscape output, you can take it to another tool called Layout. And Layout can dimensionalize what you do with your model, which means, the model says the sofa goes here, lamp goes here, and it will put it on the paper with the right dimensions. So it will say 3 feet from the wall is where this sofa starts, 4 feet from the right side, the night lamp will be exactly on the paper, create a floor plan with the furniture, which is what you need to give it to your setup team. What I like about it, and again, this is very much from my tech background, we do something called functional design documents. So when I design products and I give it to my engineers, we really call out everything to the fine hairline. We don't leave anything at the discretion of the engineer to know how this product is supposed to look, feel, and behave.
Okay.
Everything should be very objective, very well described. So we have these 50, 60 page long functional design documents. And I'm, if you see any of my documents that I create for my team, they're like loaded with detail to anything they may. And what you can even do if your team is getting savvy with ChatGPT, you can upload those documents and let them, rather than reading those documents, they just question, so where exactly in this bedroom the sofa is supposed to go? And the document will do that for you. So again, technology is there for you to, rather than spending too much time going back and forth and communicating. So I do that. I have an assistant who's very expert in AI now. And so once I create these design documents, I give it to my team, and honestly, I get out of the loop. And he understands me very well and my documents very well, that he answers that for the team. So like, for example, today, our contractor was, and I'm always on these chats, the contractor was saying that, oh, we cannot have this third sconces on this wall for whatever technical, electrical reasoning. And then we needed to know, what do we do? Do we spend so much more money to create that third sconces electrical outlet, or can we live with two? And with AI, you can say, hey, quickly show me how does two sconces look versus three? And then what does that mean? Now, would that mean instead of having 3 paintings on that wall, would I go with 2? So a lot of these on-the-fly decisions, which get surfaced, after the under the hood work starts, can be really efficiently be done with AI. So,
hey there, sisters. I am so excited to share a little love for today's episode sponsor, a tool I cannot imagine running my short-term rentals without. It's called StayFi. StayFi is a marketing powerhouse built just for vacation rental owners like us. It helps you collect data from every single guest who stays in your property, not just the one who made the booking. Here's how. StayFi lets you create a custom branded Wi-Fi splash page, kind of like what you see at your favorite coffee shop. Every guest enters their info to get online, which means you capture names, emails, and phone numbers from everybody who walks through your door. And the best part, with StayFi's built-in email and text tools, you can send beautiful, personalized messages in just seconds. That means more repeat guests, more direct bookings, and more control over your business. If you want to give it a try, and I highly recommend you do, head over to stayfi.com/STR Sisterhood and use the code Sisterhood to get 50% off your first 3 months. This is the kind of tool that helps you grow smarter, and you, my friend, deserve that. Can I jump in and ask you a question? So the SketchUp and then layout and then and Enscape, like the letter N, Scape, S-C-A-O-E-N. Okay. Okay, perfect. And we'll drop links in the show notes too for anybody listening or watching.
Absolutely.
So, can you help me understand, if someone is not savvy with AI, are these tools that an average user like, anyone walking the streets could utilize? And secondarily to that, how do you prompt these tools? Because something tells me you're probably going to have to input information and feed it what you're looking for. So can you peel back the curtain on that a little bit?
So and that's a great question. And I'll tell you, my husband is not very tech savvy. He's a process engineer. So he's not, and he can use most of these tools. So the way it is, again, this may not be everybody's favorite answer. Use AI to help you with that versus you struggling through it. Or ChatGPT, say, I want to do Escape for this particular purpose. Can you show me a tutorial in YouTube, less than 2-minute tutorial that can quickly get me started? So something as simple. That's how I do my assistant. I'm like, go do, do a smart prompting. So what it comes down to, you should just know what kind of prompt to put in ChatGPT, or even now Google search. Google search is AI powered. So you don't even need to go to ChatGPT. You just go to Google search and say, hey, I have heard Enscape is a pretty good tool. This is my use case. Can you show me some knowledge bites or some videos less than 5 minutes. So I only have 5 minutes right now. Can you show me some good get started kind of videos? So a lot of these tools, we do overuse the word AI, or the Google search has always been like AI. Like, it is intelligence. It goes behind the scene, does things. It's just like the reason AI is thrown so much is because of generative AI. Generative AI means nowadays systems can not only find the existing content and present it back to you, but it can also create new content. But 90% of the use cases that you and I deal with in today's world is still not creating new content. It's still about, I want to learn something that already exists in the world. And so, yes, it is using AI in the back, but it's not generative AI. So if people get nervous with the AI word, you may need some more hand-holding and training with the generative, how to generate new content. But if it is something the content exists, how do I get to it? How that can help me be more efficient? You have already been doing these, guys. You have been doing it unknowingly without knowing the term. So don't let these jargons, scare you. Just, again, I always say, think of it like an assistant. If you have a VA or somebody, the way you ask your VA, talk with the VA, just use ChatGPT like that. And do pretty much, what you need it to do. So, yeah.
Amazing. And then can you help me also understand the time that you spent? So, when you went to SketchUp first, how long did it take you to create that initial plan? And then when you went over to the next tool, how long did you spend there? Walk us through that timing a little bit.
Happy to. And I want to also say this is, again, tip of the iceberg. Remember, I talked about 5 guiding principles. So I haven't unveiled the curtain on the real way how I saved that $22,000. I saved a lot of time on the SketchUp and layout and all. And also, to be honest, I am a little control freak. So I like, even when I hired designer, I noticed that I spend a lot of time designing myself. One, I enjoy it. Second, I am a little control freak, to confess. So all of that really worked. And I have worked with some really great designers, and some I was like, geez, I can do a better job than them. So this really helps me take away all that drudgery and be in full control with the help of AI tools. Timing wise, again, please take it with grain of salt. I come from tech background. So for me, these things are a bit easier, faster for me to do. And I am very passionate about applying or using different AI tools. And I was showing Stacy earlier too, like I'm actually using or trial testing some tools that are not even out for commercialization right now. Like, I'm working directly with some CEOs and testing their tools and seeing how we can bring it to real state. So with that kind of knowledge, expertise, it did take me like maybe 2 days on SketchUp. I have done SketchUp before too. So 2 days, and I get obsessed too. So once I sit in front of computer, I can easily sit for 18 hours and do nothing but just keep going. So in 2 days, I got my first SketchUp design mood board done for my property, for a 7,500 square feet property, which I did 2 levels. So I would say 50 to 5,300 square feet in 2 days designed with SketchUp, which was easy. But then tweaking and all takes longer. It's very easy to come up with the first draft. Where you end up spending a lot of time is then iterating on it and making it to that perfect vision you have. And that's where I'm going to jump into that second guiding principle, or actually I'm going to jump onto the third. Well, we talked about functionality too. So let's jump onto the third one, is pricing. Cost, which is very important. And that's where I really, I think we got the highest run for our money. So what I do is when I'm designing this in SketchUp and all, one thing, this is my style of doing things. I do not bring budget into the picture when I'm doing my first round of vision and mood board, which is different than a lot of other designers. I just put my vision into the mood board, how I'm seeing this property to turn. Then I send this to my team, to my assistant, and say now, and again, my assistant has worked with me for long enough, but I sent this to them and I said, hey, now use some pricing tools to see these different products that I identified. Is this the best, this brand, this product that I got, is this the best deal or could we do better? And so my assistant started using pricing comparison tools. So very important for all of you to do nothing from this or don't get anything from this talk, just get this part. If you're so scared of technology, you cannot do anything with technology. I promise you, you can still do one thing. Go in your Google Lens. Whatever product you like, just take a picture of it on Google Lens. It goes and it crawls the entire web, and it comes back with where all you can find this product and for how much. And you would not believe. For this house, I have a burgundy wall, and I wanted a very brick, rusty color of sofa set. Very specific kind, which was so hard to find, but I had that in my mind. Eventually, I found something very similar to what I wanted at Wayfair for $9,200. $9,200 for a little sofa set. Even in a luxury house, it is a lot, knowing people are going to use it whichever way, And then my VA, this was not Google Lens, but he used a couple other pricing tools. But using pricing tools, he was able to find me exact same sofa set for $4,160. I took that link, I sent it to Wayfair account executive, and they were able to honor that because it was exact same product. And
wow.
It means more than 50% saving on just one product. And once I figured that out, I was like, my VA created a whole Excel sheet of you're seeing on some of the brands with Minoan, Article is a little harder to crack the nut because they're very specialized and it's hard to find exact products, but you can find something similar. But Crate and Barrel, all kind of brands, Living Spaces, and also we got a lot of those brands, and we were able to find some place it's being sold for a bit cheaper. And I'm sure by the end, my account executive hated me because they lost like $10,000, $12,000 just from me because I could find the products at a cheaper price, and they honored it. So that was that. But here is 3 big takeaways for us from this price comparison. Number 1, the research showed us that many stores use deceptive discounting practices, especially when selling furniture. When they say 60% off, or many times I used to get crazy about, Wayfair is having this discount. With the data, we were able to see, even without discount, the product was pretty much the same price. They just jack up the price by 50, 60%, and then they call it discount of 60%, 50% to superficially create that saving, perception for us. Stupid buyer like me. So one thing we found. Another one was easily 45 to 50% of the time for larger items, furniture, we were able to find a better deal than the first place we looked at. So there was, I can't tell you how many furniture pieces we got at discount then. If I go back, I don't even want to do that because I'm going to kill myself. But if I go into my boutique bill, I really think I way overpaid than I could have. So big learning for us. And then the other one was eventually we started seeing patterns. So for small decor pieces, I do not recommend Living Spaces, Wayfair kind of things. They have a huge markup on smaller items. Furniture, bit better, and with price comparison, you can negotiate those down. Another one to me was I used to buy from rugs.com, the rugs. That's the most expensive place to buy rugs. I'm like, you are a rug specialized business.
Yeah.
And from comparison, we found even in their discounts, please, I hope nobody in rugs is watching this or hearing it because I'm opening their secret.
Well, so much for rugs.com sponsoring my podcast. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, but I had one. I used to buy left and right from rugs.com. And for this project, we bought 0 rugs from rugs.com. The price comparison. Then I stumbled on some really cool small, I don't know how small these businesses are, but Homary, Homary. I did not know about this. Homary.com has some really cute decor pieces, which are much cheaper than most of the places you can find. On the exact same thing at Amazon or Wayfair, and Homary had better prices. So not for everything, but there were some really cute pieces we were able to find. Another one is I never shopped at Walmart because I thought, Walmart doesn't have good quality. To my surprise, a lot of the things that I was buying from Amazon or some of these other places, same thing is available at Walmart for cheaper price. And I'm like, duh. Like, so it revealed my own biases. And so those were three big takeaways that we got from the site comparison. And then lastly, I want to say, just broaden your horizon, stepping back. I think this price comparison is not just for real estate, for clothing, for any shopping you're doing. Nowadays, I'm obsessed. I'm like, as I said, if nothing, I use Google Lens a lot. Yeah. If I'm standing in a bank line and I like somebody's shoes, I just quickly Google Lens it. I put the lens on the shoes. It right away tells me which brand, how much it is available for where. So on the fly, I am doing price comparisons and shopping these days. Or if I go and see, if I see anybody's Airbnb listing and I like something on that listing, I just do Google Lens and say, get me this decor piece. And Google Lens can right away. So a lot. I am obsessed with using a bunch of these tools.
I feel like I got to try it right now. Okay, so how do I get to Google Lens? I'm on Google. So I'm on my app. I'm on Google app.
If you go on an app like google.com, right, on your phone. So on the top, you see that little camera in the search if you have a search bar, on the right is a camera. Click on that camera thing. And now you can just take picture of anything in your room, Stacy. With your camera. Click on that. It says search on your screen. Sorry.
I'm doing my Trident. My Trident sitting on Trident gum. Here we go.
Yeah. It will tell you where all it's available for how much it's available.
Okay, now question for you. Sorry, this is just real-time training that's happening right here on this podcast. That's so fun. Okay. So obviously you had to go through the results from Google Lens. Is this something that you would utilize your assistant for? Would you give them the products and they would do all the price comparison research?
I have no time, patience for these things. So I tell them, this is what my vision is. This is the products that I found that fit my vision without zero knowledge about what these cost. I said, because when I do SketchUp, I get the link, with the design, I get the product brands and links. But again, my round one is not thinking about pricing. It's about just vision. That's very much in our product development. Always our first round is let's brainstorm. Let's not limit ourselves, but brainstorm to the bigger vision. So that's exactly the mindset that I bring to my real estate. And so, yes, once I have that vision, I tell my VA, now my overall budget is this. You go do whatever behind the scene. Here are 3 tools. I have some subscriptions. Here is a login for those. You go do that and then come back and report to me, what my first choice was, like Wayfair or Living Spaces, put a column for that, how much you're seeing for, and then a column of where else you can find this and for how much. So he generally creates 2 more columns, 2 more vendors, because I also need to factor in the timing. If Wayfair is bringing it in 2 days and I'm going to buy it from Turkey for 2 months, not worth doing, right? So he knows what our project deadline is as well. And I said, give me 2 vendors. If one doesn't work, we have another backup right there. Why would your search is more efficient versus he just finds one vendor and then that doesn't work. He has to go back, find another one. So that's what we do. And that's where, when he created the table, we came out with furniture alone about 18,000 something in savings. Then, did my screen got hung? Then the second thing, I'm back.
I'll say it froze for a minute, but we're back.
We are back. So that was one. The other place where I had huge savings is paintings. I used AI to generate all the paintings in the house that we are launching. I remember for one of my properties, I have spent $750 on this one painting that I fell in love with. I just went on wine on a black wall. It's a barrel, bourbon is kind of poured from it. My problem is when I like something, I just get too stuck with it. And I bought it for $750, and with taxes and all, it was $780 or something. This time, and so one of my properties probably has $5,000-$6,000 worth of paintings alone in the house. This time, I'm very, very proud to tell that I have about 20 plus paintings and a total of $1,200 on 21 paintings in the house. So Leonardo.ai, my number one tool. The other one is Canva you can use.
Okay, so say the first one again.
Leonardo.ai.
Leonardo, like Leonardo da Vinci.
Exactly. It's a very good tool for doing all kind of creative AI image creation.
Okay.
Canva is another one. I was pretty impressed recently. Google has something called ImageGen. So ImageGen. I just recently did one of my paintings through them. Not my favorite. ChatGPT has something called Sora, Sora. So far, it's not one of my favorite. I know a couple of my friends swear by that. In real estate, I didn't get very impressed by it, but people try and please tell me if you find something different. But Leonardo.ai, Canva, and then ImageGen, I think would be a good friend of yours you can use. So we had $4,000 or $5,000 saving from there.
Amazing. All right. So I want to ask you about this. So Leonardo, let's say I go there and I prompt it and it comes out with this beautiful piece of art. Do you print it through Leonardo or do you take that somewhere else to be printed?
Great question. You can take it somewhere else. Easy Canva printing is one of the tools you can use. There is also a tool, which is another pretty cool thing I recently stumbled on. So when you get the images created, generally these images are in kilobyte. What that means is they're low resolution. Now, when you want to create, like if you're creating a small bathroom size painting, 12 by 20 or 16 by 20, it's okay. But if I'm going to put it in my living room and I'm going to make it 30 by 40 or even bigger size, then this low resolution is going to show up on the wall. It's very pixelated. So there is another app, I'm trying to remember the name, and you may be able to Google, that can upscale your resolution. So you give it a picture and say, upscale the resolution of this picture. It literally takes your picture and just recreates the picture. Instead of kilobytes, it literally goes to megabytes. So it means it's much more higher resolution. So when you print it on a larger screen, it's losing its that fineness. So yes, that was another thing I ended up heavily using this time wherever I felt the resolution might not be good.
So good. I mean, art, I think, for me personally, is one of the most difficult aspects about creating a design for a property. And same as you, like, I'm not a designer, okay? For some people who are designers, they're probably like, it's so easy. For me, it's difficult because one of the challenges, and I'm wondering if this could be a tremendous benefit, is I have a vision for what I want, but my problem is half the time I can't find it. Right?
Exactly.
And so if I can create it, oh my gosh, not only is it going to save me money, it's going to save me so much time from out there searching.
Exactly. So for my, so I have themed rooms for each of my, bedrooms in this property. So I have, of course, Kentucky, you have to have Derby horses. And I went through like 50 properties, same horses after horses after horses. I'm like, oh God, I just don't want yet another. So I created very interesting paintings, AI generated. And I was able to say, here, I want this color, like give a tinge of this color. And when the picture come back, I'm like, no, I want to change this to this. I wonder, if I have a sharing capability here, I don't know if it
won't work for the audio, unfortunately. So it would work for video.
That's okay. We'll skip that then. But maybe people have to go to charming vacation homes. And well, our property will be probably up in a week or so with the new pictures. So you can see, but you will see some paintings in there, which is all coming from AI. So there are those horse pictures, which are, you won't find it anywhere else because this is what I created.
Well, and to your point as well, what you just said, I think is so critical. You won't find it anywhere else because if you're putting your vision, I'm putting my vision. That is one way that we can build truly unique properties is by creating our own artwork because it adds so much mood and character and, vibrance to a space that Again, I've looked through so many photos of rentals. I'm like, oh, I have a Target. I got those at Target. Oh, got that at Hobby Lobby. Oh, got that at Home Goods, because we're all buying from the same pool.
Exactly. Yep. No, I'm with you. I'm totally with you. I need to get to this. Maybe currently furniture is again from one of those existing brands out there. I don't know if it's worth eventually having those customized. But one thing I'm doing is actually I'm going to Norway in summer. And my nephew, he is very geeky about things. And he has a 3D printer. And I wanted to have some really specialized decor pieces. And the one first of all, anything I like is more than $500. And I'm like, I don't know, people are going to break it, whatnot. So I sent him some design. And when I go there, we are trying to use 3D printers to create our own decor pieces. So we'll see how that goes. Then we can customize it. I can put name of our brand and all. So that's the next round of experimentation that I'm going to be doing. So furniture, very difficult. Paintings I've already done. So next level is decor in between.
I saw a news article recently where somebody built a house from a 3D printer.
You can absolutely do that. 3D printers are very powerful, and people who don't know about them underestimate the value. Like this decor piece that I really liked, I asked my nephew, I said, how much do you think it's going to cost us? And he thinks give and take maybe $9, $10. It's on the market for $550 right now. So
wow.
I want to see, would he be able to give me the same look and feel? Again, the quality could be different. Maybe the one that is there is cast iron or something, but who cares in a vacation rental?
Right.
Like, as long as it gives that nice decor feel and I can, it's sturdy enough.
Functional. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Why not? So it reminds me when you,
I was going to say it's so good. I love the idea of utilizing a 3D printer. But the other thing I just want to highlight for anyone watching or listening, what you have said multiple times, I want to try this. I want to test this. I want to see if this works. And so often I feel like people try something one time and they're like, yeah, that didn't work. And then they go back to their old way of operating. And I really believe because of your career and because you've spent so many years in building products and iterating and changing and modeling things, you approach this from a different perspective. And I love that.
Oh, thank you. I do want to say sometimes I find my assistant to doing smarter things than I do. I also feel part of it is just passion.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, not a techie like me, but he will come up with things. Oh, I found this, or I shouldn't take credit for that 22,000 saving, because some of these things he was able to find. He's like, oh, instead of this sofa, if we get something very similar, still olive green, very similar style, but hey, we have this $300 extra saving on this. So he thought out of the box more than I did in many instances. So I do feel just because, somebody's techie and is talking about how they save 22,000, just don't think, oh, you can't. You totally can but the point is, Stacy, that you brought up, you have to be passionate, consistent, persistent. I fail left and right all the time. My problem is I just don't give up. Like I am like, okay, if it didn't work, let me try. Like I got some paintings done and I laughed when they came. And then I was like, okay, it's a $15 experiment. I'll trash this one. Let me try another one. So you will not hit a home run first, second, third time, maybe even 10th time, but just keep trying. One of these days you will get there. So just don't let your technology or education, those things be the factor. With AI, honestly, you don't need to have a computer science degree.
Right.
You need to be smart and be hardworking and persistent about things.
I love it. I love it. All right, my friend, I want to move to the lightning round. Okay. Yes. So I'm going to ask you a few questions and I'm going to ask you to answer with the very first thing that comes to mind. No AI allowed. Okay.
Okay. My hands are here.
All right. Your hands are up here. All right. First question is, where is your favorite place to vacation?
Italy.
Do you have a certain region in Italy that's your fave?
I love Siena in Italy. Mm-hmm.
So good. So good. I'm actually leaving in a few weeks. By the time this airs, I'll already be back from Italy. We're going to Portugal and Rome, and then we're taking a cruise. But I'm so excited about exploring. We have 3, we'll be in Rome, and then we do Sicily, Naples, and Tuscany.
Yes,
So
I've done all of those. They're amazing. If you could squeeze in Siena, it's a very small town. It has contradas. It's very historic, a lot of beautiful history with this. And there's a very famous gelato place there. There's a long line to have that gelato. It's a world, definitely recommend. And I'm going to be in Portugal too in end of June.
Oh my gosh. We'll be crossing paths.
Where are you going?
I am going on actually 10 days from now, 9 days from now.
So you need to come back and give me recommendations.
There you go.
So
there you go. I love it. All right. Next question. What's one place you've never been that you want to visit?
New Zealand.
I've heard that's so beautiful.
Japan.
And Japan.
Those are the 2 that are on my list next.
Yeah. Yeah. You might be able to do that in one trip,
Exactly.
They're not too far.
Not traveling that much. And maybe add India to the list too. So do all 3 too.
That's so good. So good. All right. Next question. What's one thing you know now that you wished you knew when you were starting out in the world of short-term rentals?
Oh my gosh. Pricing tools. That I know now. Yes, that's been a biggest game changer.
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Next question. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
That I have been given. I don't practice it very well, but I hope I could strive to that. Don't forget to make life while making a living.
Don't forget to make life while you're making a living.
I'm workaholic, so I forget that all the time. Yeah.
I think that's so beautiful because so often I see people who are grinding 24/7 and perhaps building super successful businesses. And one of the things that I always try to impart on the people in my community, it's why I wrote my book, life is too short not to enjoy it, right? And so I am going to challenge you to step away from work and really make sure that you're caring for yourself, that you're taking care of your body and your mind, and do things that light you up. And I have a feeling AI lights you up. Like, you probably really enjoy your work, which is why you like to work, I'm guessing.
You're absolutely right. But yeah, I have to keep telling, still, AI is AI. It's not a real human or real relationships, which I forget at times. I like AI sometimes more than my own assistant and when there's, just don't tell them. Because AI, I can say, you did not do it right. Go and do it again. How do I position this? How do I say not hurt people's feeling? And I'm a straight shooter, so I struggle with giving a flowery feedback. I am like, let's just cut the chase. This sucks. So I appreciate too when people tell me that. I love it rather than dancing around the feedback. Anyway.
Yeah. That's so good. That's so good. All right. Last question. What's one thing and or person that you're grateful for today?
Oh, it's hard to say one. I mean, I would put it as a family, as my family. They're very supportive. They are my cheerleader. Without them, I wouldn't be where I am, especially my husband and my grandfather.
Oh, tell me about your grandfather. That's not a common answer.
He's 95 years old. He has been the guy like who really was there for me all the time. You know, and when I came to this country, I did not know any better. I was like, whatever the nearest university is, I'm going to apply and go there. And he was the one who was like, no, you can do better. So because of him, I went to UCLA, I went to Stanford. I honestly would have never dreamed of any of these universities had he not been there to push me. So
amazing. Amazing. Mm-hmm. This is so fun. Thank you so much for being here. What a wonderful episode. And I know I'm going to be back taking notes and I'm going to be trying all the tools. So thank you.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure being here, Stacy. Thank you so much.
Now, before you go, I want to give a quick shout out to some amazing women inside the Female Short-Term Rental Investors Facebook group. Just a few hours ago, Nina Lee posted, "Hi all, we're in the process of hiring a cleaner now for the first time. What questions should I ask? What documents will be needed from the cleaner? Thanks for your guidance." And already Valerie Sparks has jumped in and asked, is this cleaner a referral from another host? You'll also want to find out if you can meet with the cleaner to tour the property and explain your expectations. Jessica Lostetter posted a whole list of questions. I'll read a few. She says, "Hey, Nina, here's a list of questions I've asked in the past. Will I have direct access to the cleaner who is at the property? Will I have the same cleaner at every property turn?" So it is going to depend on if you are utilizing a cleaning company versus an individual cleaner. There's another question that Jessica posted in here. Are you open to cleaning dog-friendly properties? If so, is there an extra charge? And do you require a certain amount of lead time in order to schedule a cleaning? These are a few of Jessica's long list of questions. Jessica, thanks so much for sharing your long list of questions and for taking the time to write back to Nina. I will tell you, finding good cleaners is something that is so incredibly important, but not always easy. So I highly encourage you to create a standardized list of questions, an interview guide for your cleaners, so you can ask the same questions to every candidate so you find the right cleaner for you and you don't forget to ask anything either. I hope that helps as well. Nina, best of luck to you. And for you listening or watching, I hope you have an amazing week ahead, and I'll see you very soon.